Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrtyorma amrtam gamaya. Hi everyone, love from India. So this is my favorite mantra it's not specifically a mantra for Ashtanga, but is the mantra of truth. Is the mantra where we ask the force. I love to call the prana the force, like in Star Wars. Never underestimate the force. And we ask the force to take us from darkness into the light, from the false into the truth, from death into eternal life. I think it's one of the most inspiring mantras and most powerful. Specifically for me, I love to sing it so much. And yoga is such an amazing tool, it's such an amazing experience to have in this lifetime. Yoga is a powerful instrument to lift us from spiritual amnesia and to wake us up into the truth and the knowledge and the love and the peace and the friendship and everything that it's real. You know, before yoga, we are living in this false world of hopes and dreams, and we are aspiring to find happiness, and maybe we find it for a little while, and then we see it crumble and completely be lost and destroyed, and after many years of doing the same thing and going from A to B and A to B and A to B and there comes a moment that we say, you know, this A to B is not working. I think I'm gonna go A to M, A to Z, and come out of my comfort zone. And yes, yoga, once we understand what we're doing and why we're doing it now, when we have our sankalpa clear, our intention for practicing, which is not imitating people doing asana or getting a pose, or it's none of that. Even though, yeah, it's fun, you know, it's fun to use our bodies in different ways. Today I'm sitting a little strange, but I strained my left hip yesterday in my second series, and yeah, it's part of the game. I know that today I need to sit in a certain way. I know I need to eat in a certain way. I need to have my lemon with my hot water, my turmeric. I know I have to, you know, take it easy tomorrow, do my primary. Like, yeah, that's what it is about. And, you know, we find these obstacles and we move through them. In the beginning, we kind of like fight and struggle, and like, you know, it just becomes like this, like, you know, power struggle, and you know, after a few years we see, okay, you know, here comes an obstacle, here we go again, and let's do our best. And this mantra for me especially just gives me a lot of understanding that we are in the realm of falsehood. We live in the kingdom of samsara, hala hala, yeah, where people, they look nice and behind the curtains they're liars and they're manipulators, when we ourselves portray ourselves as something, and then in the end we don't really even know who we are and why we're doing something. And coming out of that darkness and that confusion that is how our spiritual practice is going to help us. So we ask the prana, the force, to take us from the false into the truth. And yeah, opening our eyes wide open, it's sometimes very, very painful. Yeah, it's just like when, like it's like having like acid in our eyes, because we cannot believe what we are observing, or what we are, perceiving. Maybe before we used to perceive things and people in a more superficial way, or maybe in a more egocentric way, and then we start like really opening our eyes and understanding there's so much pain in this world, so much suffering that we endure, that other people endure, and yeah, opening our eyes means opening our eyes to everything. It means being open to whatever life brings to us, and stop trying to control anything. We are not the doer anyway. Here, the prana is the boss, and the prana knows exactly why we are breathing today, and where we are, and why they brought people into our lives, and why they took away people from our lives. And living in that state of opening and radical acceptance is much more productive than living in that constant resistance and complaining about what is happening, and grief, and like, yeah, there's stuff that is very, very hard to understand and to digest. But if we just let it in, and say, I want truth. I really want truth, even though truth pisses us off sometimes, often, even though truth hurts us also. But in this quest for truth, in this quest for real happiness, not the happiness that depends on things, of people, which is a very fleeting happiness, but happiness that comes from within, the happiness that we already are inside. And we come into these lives, and we have our karmas, and we have our things to work through, each one of us, and it's different from each one of us. But one thing we share is that we are looking for love, we're looking for truth, when we are already like in this path of awakening. And we also we want to understand what freedom is. Freedom from our own thoughts, freedom from our own emotional reactivity. Today I got a message from one of my students. He used to be my youngest student, and he with my son Ariel, they were really good friends, and he was coming to practice with his father, and now he's already a father. He's the father of 2 beautiful children, and he has a wife, and he left my country and he lives in the US. And, he's really like, moving boldly in his life. And I think of him, and it's so inspiring why sometimes we feel we have to do something, and sometimes there's not even an explanation. This is how I started these videos. I just felt like I wanted to be here with you, and I didn't know exactly what I was going to share, but the more I share, the more I have to share, and the more questions that come, the more comments, the more feedback. And when I receive one of these messages, I just say, oh, I'm so glad, we're connecting again. I'm so happy you're there. I'm so happy you're still interested in yoga, and that yoga is going to hold you in your parenthood, in your career, in your new life. So yeah, adventuring ourselves into something new is scary. It's the structure that we have built around us since we were very little, trying to find some support in this world that comes and goes, that pulsates, that opens and then shuts down really harsh, and then you feel love, and then you feel a lot of grief and pain, and like in these dynamics that we don't control, we do our mantra. We ask for truth. We ask for freedom. We ask for light. And I know someone is listening. I know that for sure. It's like, it's so beautiful, because like for these videos, I never plan anything. I just sit here a little while before I turn the camera on, and I just pray, and I just say, what do you want me to speak about today? I'm not really sure. There's certain elements of the method that are important, but like today, I knew I had to do this mantra and sing it to you, and also thank all of you that are there, and that I know it's hard to do your practice in between family and responsibilities and crisis and people's crazy energies. I know very well, but that's the path. The path is full of obstacles, and the obstacles are there so we can go against the grain and create some friction, and that friction is the juice of our practice. That friction is actually what becomes the material of our meditation and our realizations. So asking for truth, what does that mean? That asks that we really want to open our eyes. And opening our eyes is painful, and it just can be extremely, extremely hard. And sometimes we have this image of someone or something, and when we actually look deeper within ourselves, and then we understand that there was nothing of what we had projected into that being. It's a very hard moment. It's a moment of reality, of sometimes hard realization. And yet that's what we're asking for. So and then when we find something that is pure, or something that is beautiful in this new awareness, in this new way of perceiving people and perceiving life itself, then it becomes so rich and so profound. So yeah, it's like removing this veil of past samskaras, of past karmas that we have brought into this lifetime, and saying, I want light, I want truth, I want love, I want peace, I want the real thing. I don't want to lose more time. There's no time to waste. We don't know, but I strongly recommend. Last night I watched this movie in Netflix. It's so beautiful. It's called The King. It's about Henry V, and in his quest for being a king with integrity, he didn't even want it to be a king, and finally he gets appointed, and he knows he's surrounded by liars and manipulation, and he knows he has to follow through, and he gets scammed and everything, and in the end, everything he wants is for people to be clear and loyal. And that's actually what we're all looking for. What I can say is that we cannot assure people we meet in the path are going to be truth and loyal to us, but at least we can try to be true and loyal ourselves. And for that, we need the example of our teacher. We need the example of someone that is actually walking the talk. So yes, let's ask for that light. So this light comes into our thinking, into our feelings, into our families, into our communities, into everything we touch, this king Midas, that he used to touch things and they would become gold. We want, as yogis, to go into the world and spread some awareness, some truth, and for that we need to understand what it is. So let's sing the mantra again. Please close your eyes and bring the hands to your heart and think of that prayer for truth, that prayer for light, that prayer for freedom. Om asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrtyorma amrtam gamaya. Shanti, shanti, shanti.